Welcome back to Live With, brought to you by Species Nutrition. Visit speciesnutrition.com. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's guest is well known to the show. He's very well known to the bodybuilding community, all the way from Kuwait, our good friend, Boodai. Welcome back.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Good. Where are you calling from now? You're not from your yacht, are you?
No, I'm in my home.
Oh, very nice. I like it. It seems very mellow there. It doesn't seem very peaceful. How big is your house, Bader?
What?
How big is your house?
Small, it's not big.
Yeah, I don't believe you. How many square feet? 10,000? 20,000?
5,000.
5,000? All right, that's good. It's a nice size house. Bader, you had a great season, 2017. Big Ramy, second at the Mr. Olympia contest. Ahmad Ashkenani, second place at the Olympia in the 212. Going into the 2018 season, the Big Ramy not doing the Arnold Classic, skipping it, I guess trying to focus on the Olympia. Talk to us a little bit about the athletes and who you like coming into this year's Arnold.
We have in Arnold this time only Roelly Winklaar. He will compete in 10 days.
Right.
When we have also amateur competitor from about 15 guys amateur. But in the pro level, we have only in our team Roelly Winklaar competing in Arnold.
Now, we saw the pictures from Roelly that were just released a couple days ago, and he looks like he might be from another planet. And I don't think the planet is Earth. He's so big. He looks actually bigger than Ramy, to be honest with you. What the hell's going on with Roelly?
You know, Roelly, one of the best guy who have the muscle belly. I think the best guy who have 3D muscle belly is Roelly Winklaar on the stage. And this time, you know, the problem with Roelly every time is about the condition, not the size. Now we're focusing on condition, but really, this time he will come with size and condition, and he will shock everybody. Trust me, the photo will not show what Roelly in shape.
Roelly's arms look like they're about 30 inches in diameter. Have you guys ever put a tape measure on those things?
Sorry, I cannot hear you, Dave.
How big are Roelly Winklaar's arms? They look like they're about 30 inches around.
I think arms, I didn't measure his arms, but he weighs now 278.
Wow. That's certainly the biggest he's ever been. He should give people a run for their money out there for certain. Now, you mentioned that you have a lot of guys in the amateur show, 15 guys. So you're really grooming these guys young now, trying to build your own team, you know, from the bottom up, so to speak. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's my hobby, you know, and it's my business. It's not about only pro. You know, we like to bring in new blood to the sport. We have every year some new name. You know, this year we'll compete in Olympia stage. One new guy from Kuwait who win just last year the the Kuwait Pro, and he qualified to the Mr. Olympia Pro. And this is the first Kuwaiti physique guy will compete in Olympia stage.
Who do you like? Who would you say is one of the most promising prospects that you have coming up in the ranks that you think will make a big deal in 2018?
You think you mean in the pro?
Yeah, in the pro level. Who do you think might turn pro this year and be a new talent that we should look out for?
You mean to turn pro or?
Yeah, to turn pro. Like, what's your amateur guy do you think has the most potential that you're working with?
You know, we have a new guy. Yesterday, I just sent photo for Sadiq, Egyptian guy, 23-year-old, call him Ahmed Fouda. He have a bright future, good structure. If he listen to the team and the coaches, I think this guy will make a big impact in the sport.
Now, Beta, the question a lot of people want to know is, where do you find these guys? Like this guy's from Egypt. How did you find him and bring him over to be part of the team?
Listen, you know, I am, you know, in beginning, in my start, I was working only with my Kuwaiti team, you know, to let my country have a name in the sport. people in Middle East now put me in place that I am the godfather of these people. Now the whole world want to be in this team. I don't have problem to get anybody from anywhere, but with good structure. I find this guy, I keep looking to this guy maybe last year, see him in some competition. I understand this guy, if he have the good guidance, he can win the show and can make a good future. You know, most of our people working in Middle East, the problem is they have a good frame, the good genetics, but the problem is the guidance or the lifestyle of their in sport is not correct.
Right.
With this guy, you know, when we pick up every guy, we know that they have good future, but in the right guidance.
Gotcha. Okay, well, you guys are doing a great job. Now, just this past year, obviously, starting around the Olympia time, there was a big shakeup in the IFBB and the Bodybuilding Federation. Rafael Santoja, who is the president of the IFBB Amateur League, split with Jim Mannion, who is the president of the IFBB Pro League. And they've gone in separate directions. Jim Mannion is still running the IFBB Pro League as we know it, the same pro league that runs the Arnold Classic here in the United States and runs the IFBB Mr. Olympia, okay, every year in Las Vegas. And the affiliate of that organization being the NPC here in the U.S. And then, you know, now they're nurturing some new organizations or new affiliates around the world. And Rafael took his IFBB Amateur League and started his own pro league, the IFBB Elite League. Now, obviously, you coming from the Middle East, Rafael's IFBB Amateur League was very prevalent and kind of ran all the amateur competitions there. What made you decide to stick with Jim Mannion and the IFBB Pro League and their new affiliate rather than staying with Rafael, a person who you've worked with in the past, obviously?
Listen, about this situation, I know more information than anybody. I know about they have 2 years of problem each other, the federation, between Jim and Rafael. I keep complaining in Jim that we have big problem in the federation and the IFBB with Rafael. The problem with Rafael working with with people in corruption, you know. We have and low level of controlling the competition, you know. The problem is, if any guy win any pro card, they cannot get the pro card because they want him to compete in amateur. They don't want to give him pro card, even he win the competition. I have problem, you know, Ramy, when he win my show, 6 months later he compete in New York without pro card. Try to find any way to get his pro card. Impossible until we contact Jim to help us to get pro card. Ahmed Ashkanani. We have about 12 competitors in physique. Same problem. You know, I work with these people. The problem is, I don't have any problem to work alone because they respect the power. I have the power. Rafael know why I have the power. For like this, didn't do for me anything. You know, they try to kick me out from the IFBB, from his right hand, the guy from Egypt, who controlling the corruption for Rafael. You know, this guy is banded by, I have evidence here from the Olympic community of his country, not me or anybody. Olympic community of Egypt banned this guy about corruption and money case. This is not me. This is a newspaper from Egypt talking about how corruption in this federation. You know, I send you some video how level of quality they control the competition.
So let me stop you for a second. I want to ask you a question. So the right hand man of Rafael Santoja, who was also the president of the Saudi Arabian or the Egyptian Federation. Egyptian Federation.
Egypt and Arab Federation also.
Okay, he was gotten rid of because of corruption. You're saying was there something going on there with money? What was going on? There was what corruption?
Listen, this is the paper from Egypt Olympic community, not from me. They say they banned this guy because the corruption and money case.
Right.
Not me. This is from the Olympic community paper.
Right. Now, why? What was he doing? Well, because I can't read Arabic, obviously. What did it say he was doing that made them ban him?
They have a money case before, about severe money case before. If you want to be in any ministry position, you must have a clean
clean record.
History. Yeah, clean record. And this guy fined with about 10 case of money case,
Now, another thing you had told me, I know when we were speaking off camera, is you said that you didn't like the way the competitions were run in some of these countries.
No.
What
I
did you like
mean not the competition. I mean the controlling the federation. I am businessman. I don't care about federation. I am the president of Kuwait Federation, and I am vice president of Asia Federation. Imagine if you are in this federation and they bring for you the president of Asian Federation with 25-year-old prince, don't know anything about sport, just to show up. Rafael's problem is the ego. He likes people with ego. When you be president of your country, federation of your country, if you do accomplishment of winning show, any guy from your country winning show, the ministry will give you money. And this federation getting money from the competitor when they're winning. The competitor itself getting only rubbish money. They're flying in their own money. They're paying to the competition. They cannot compete in any competition. Let's say I'm doing Mr. Olympia in Kuwait. This guy, the Egyptian guy, I hear him voice, and I send it to Rafael in the beginning. I tell him I am end of that. Forcing his competitor, an Arab competitor, to not compete in Kuwait, in Kuwait Pro, and IFBB show, just because he don't like the way I work. No. The problem with this guy, they're controlling the competitor, and the competitor cannot compete in any show without the authorized paper from their federation. Imagine if the competitor have problem with the president of their federation or any federation. He cannot compete. I give you one example. Before 2 weeks or 1 week, you have Kamal Al-Garni from Libya.
Right.
This guy banned for life for 5 years because the president of his federation or Rafael don't like him. They stopped his history. They left him 5 years without any sport because they don't like him. And they say for us, I talked with Rafael about this case. He told me because the WADA problem. WADA banned Kamal, and he's not even in the list of WADA. And the joke, the new joke. This is before 2 days. The right hand of Rafael say and text people that Jim Mannion banned from WADA. The WADA is the drug testing community.
Let me explain what that is. WADA is the World Anti-Doping Agency, and according to what the most recent, press release that was released by Raphael, he's saying that Jim Mannion is on the ban list by the World Doping Agency. The problem is that the IFBB Pro League isn't part of the World Anti-Doping Agency, and so it's kind of hard for them to ban someone who's not a part of the agency. So that was the excuse they gave to Kamal Al-Gargi for giving him the ban. They're saying that he violated some WADA rules. Meanwhile, he never even failed a drug test. So what you're basically telling us is that you were trying to work for the athletes. You're in Kuwait. You're trying to give them opportunities. You want to help them to get pro status so they can move up from the amateurs into the pro ranks and show how good they are. And you were being basically manipulated and by Rafael Santohar, and basically people were being told don't work with Bader because he's not listening to me. Is that approximately what's going on?
I have personally, I am the only man have war with IFBB, Cold War, because I am the only man who's working with Jim. I am the only man trying to send competitor from amateur to pro. I don't care about my ministry to shake my hand and take photo in magazine that I'm bring one gold medal to Kuwait. For me, I need to go to the highest level. I need the stand on my office. I have in 2013, some people send the rumor to Jim Mannion that I am buying the placement of Ramy and Mr. Olympia. I tried to call Jim to explain my situation. I talked with Rico Barakat, you know him, he working with Jim. And I told him, listen, I hear that. I don't want Jim think I am saying that. I talk with Jim and I tell him, if I want to buy and the placement in Olympia is for selling, why I buy 7th place in that time? I buy 1st place. It's about money. And he laughed and told me, listen, Badr, we need you in the sport. You don't need us. We need you more than you need us. We need people investing money. We need people who like the sport, bring the competition. From that time, I understand the level of quality to control the federation. And I give you one information. They didn't split. I know about it 3 months before. Jim left the IFBB. The problem was not to separate it. Jim left them, and I decided to be with Jim. And I am I am president of Federation in Kuwait, vice president of Asia Federation in IFBB, and I am controlling Rafael, and he know why I control that. He needs me why in Olympic community, how power I have in world Olympic community. For like this, they still respect what I do before when I was there. And I go to Jim and I tell him, listen, I don't need any paper from you. I just want one word. I don't want to be disappointed. I want to work with in a high level. And he gave me agree. And I'm now working with him, very happy. Business, you pay your fees, you get your competition, pro card in the state, high level of judging. You know, judging in the IFBB before clown, there is no judging.
Right.
The judging sitting in the chair, after competition, everybody going back to the right hand, and I send you a video, changing the results. If you don't have connection with the judge, if you don't have connection with Rafael or anybody, you don't get your placement. Everybody mad.
So it makes you upset when you see that, you know, here you are, working for the athlete, trying to get the athlete to be acknowledged, to be promoted to the pro leagues when they deserve it, okay? And you're getting slammed down by these people who are trying to control this organization and not allow it to grow. That's got to be super frustrating to you. Do you think that's a terrible thing when you're trying to do something great for the athlete and the organization holds you down?
Yeah, you know, the problem is not only in Kuwait, Dave. You know, my situation is the whole Arab country try to contact me,
right?
Help us. You know, and when you're talking with the federation there, all of them controlling by one guy is the right hand in Egypt.
Right.
They don't care about the competitor. They don't care about what competitor can accomplishment in their life. They don't. The problem with them, they just want this competitor with big name to compete in the team, to get medal and get money from the ministry. That's it. They don't care about anything. When Jim take the decision and separate from the left IFBB, everybody in Middle East happy. You know, every competitor can compete without any authorized. They don't care about their federation. They can. Last competition in my show was 400 competitors. This is the biggest time. Everybody left. The audience was very happy because the judging was fair. Everybody get their place. Everybody who get the pro card, they get it in the stage. This is not happening before. You know, before they don't talk anything about pro card. Now they're giving a pro card even by email. I show you, I have one competitor. I was sitting with him in my coffee shop. This is, check it. This is, they're sending email for every competitor to compete in Elite Pro. This is, they do Elite Pro. Listen, this is email came from Rafael to my competitor. Was 2 meters sitting near me. He said me, look, how can you send email for name? From where? They take all the name of the pro competitor in the pro league and try to send them email to be in their part. Why now you care about pro?
Well, because they lost the pro league. But let me just say this. I think what you're doing is admirable. I've said it before. You're allowing the athlete to make money. Now you're helping the athletes to make sure that they get their pro cards. You aligned yourself with the IFBB. I'm of the belief when someone is holding back the sport from growing. When someone is doing something corrupt to the sport and hurting the athletes, they should be gotten rid of. Do you agree with that?
Sure, Dave. Let's say you have a good athlete, or you are athletes with good genetics, and you want to go to compete in high level with the big guys in Olympia. This is your dream to be in Olympia. Where can I go now?
Right.
You choose. Do you have one way? The IFBB Pro and NPC. That's it. You cannot. I cannot go through the IFBB now to Mr. Olympia. You have one way.
Right. No, you're right. Look, I applaud you. I applaud you. And I'm so glad that Jim Manion was able to make that move. I know it was a difficult move on his part because it disrupted his life. He's an older guy. He doesn't need to be dealing with all this stress. But he knew that it was better that he leave now and let the other countries come with him that want to be able to promote their athletes to pro status and to have the freedom to do what they want and promote the sport and allow it to grow. Now, let me ask you a question. I don't know if you followed what happened this past November. I was at the NPC National Championships, which is the largest amateur bodybuilding, competition in the United States, and this promoter kicked me out of the event because I was covering the athletes and doing interviews backstage. Not only did he kick me out, he had a police escort kick me out. What do you think of that type of behavior? You know what kind of person I am. You know how I promote the athletes. I'm like you. I'm a pioneer. I want to make the athletes grow and I want to give them publicity. When something like that happens, don't you think that someone like that person should be ejected just the way Rafael was?
Listen, Dave, I know, I hear about, I see some photo and like this. Not everybody is, you cannot control everybody in 100%. But I mean, the athlete is the most important.
Absolutely.
If they need media, we need media. We need best judging. We need every company to promote the show. What happened? I don't know exactly what mean, but if I am the promoter, I need Dave. I need everybody with camera in my competition to promote my show.
You would think
I don't
so.
care if I die Dave or I Dave.
Well, you would think so. I mean, I think the judging is phenomenal in the NPC. I think that Jim Manion is a tremendous president, but there's still some corruption and there's still some promoters out there back from 20, 30 years ago that don't get it and don't care about the athletes. All they care about is their pocketbook and controlling things. And that's, I think, what happened with Rafael. He wasn't able to elevate himself into the modern era of promoting the athletes, social media, and you get it, I get it, but when people do things like that to you, okay, that's not right. And just like when people do things like that to me, we got to get rid of those people from the sport because they're not good for the future.
I'm answering you, Dave. If I am the promoter, I need Dave in my show because this is advantage for my show.
Right. Right.
You
So if
understand
a
what
promoter doesn't see that, don't you think that we should get rid of those promoters?
I
That's
think
negative.
so.
Yeah. I'm glad you agree with me because, like I said, the people like you and me, and there's a lot of other great promoters out there and people who promote our sport. That's what we need to nurture if we're going to have a successful future of this sport, and it's going to grow to epic proportions where it's not going to just be held back like the old, the Stone Age. We want to see bodybuilding move into the modern era. And I think what you're doing out in Kuwait at Oxygen Gym there, helping these athletes and promoting them is tremendous. And I'd love to see 10 more Beta Boodais out there in this world doing the same thing all over the globe. And we can't hold back people like that because that holds back the sport.
Listen, now I think the federation is more, the IFBB is going, the IFBB Pro League, I think, going more professionally than before. I hope we will start to see more professional competition. I mean, professional in how to control everything. I try to talk with them even for the quality of the competition in Olympia and the level of the quality of the stage and like this. I try to put best stage in the world in my... Yeah, tell me.
Let me ask you a question. Were you aware of any bribes or payoffs that were ever involved with Rafael Santoja and getting of pro cards? Because I've heard a lot of people tell me that there was a lot of money being exchanged, for pro cards. Have you ever seen any of that?
Listen, I hear about they charging $5,000. I hear rumors that they charging high money to get their pro card.
Right.
Especially, it cannot be from maybe not Rafael. Maybe Rafael not involved. I don't know, but I am 100% sure that they don't want anybody go to the pro level because they want all the names and they're amateur because they want to use them to make money.
That's terrible because the athletes get none of this and they're paying money. It's horrible.
This is Dave happened to me because I push about 20 guys to pro level and I know exactly in this case what I'm talking about. In other federation maybe you see one guy or two guys, but in my situation I push about 15 to 20 people to the pro level. And even Ramy, we compete in New York. Imagine from November till May, we are talking with everybody to get his pro card.
Were they
until New York we didn't get it.
Was Rafael or any of his people asking you for money to get these pro cards?
No, he don't. Rafael, Rafael know me. It's different between me and the other federation. Right. They know I have my money. They know I can do something the other federation cannot do. They know I don't care about. I didn't take one penny from my country. I didn't take any $1 from any from my ministry to let the people compete. Even when we go to compete in international competition, that the whole team fly with me under my money. I don't take any money. For like this, they respect, they understand. The money case for me is not the problem.
Right.
And they are be careful when they talk with me about that.
Gotcha. Because you're not beholden to them. All right, let's change gears for a second. Last question. Big Ramy, is this the year he's going to win the Olympia? I want a prediction.
100%.
Ramy will be 2018 Mr. Olympia.
Without any question.
All right, you heard it from Beta Boodai. Big Ramy is going to win the Olympia in 2018. Let's see if his prediction comes true. Beta, always great to see you. Will you be out at the Arnold Classic?
Yeah, sure. I'm flying after 1 week.
Okay. Best of luck to Roelly Winklaar and all your amateur athletes. And keep doing great stuff for the sport.
Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you very much for this interview.
And that's going to take us to the end of another episode of Live With, brought to you by Species Nutrition. Visit speciesnutrition.com. I'm Dave Palumbo. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
طريقة التحكيم في البطولات، لأن كل واحد شايف نفسه أحسن واحد، لكن أحكم إزاي؟ أعرف منين ده جسمه